Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, XRP, and Litecoin. So those are the three we're going to go over. Right now, Bitcoin's at 8,470, and what we're waiting to see is if we're going to get this bull flag. We've really been patient, guys. We've been consolidating downward here. We're cooling off, and we're just going to see if we're going to get that next blast up, or if we're just going to start dropping back down. We're going to start testing some areas where we had this bullish engulfing candle. So we're going to get into all this. If you like me covering Bitcoin, XRP, and Litecoin together, smash that like button. Let me know what you think with Bitcoin. Are we going to be heading lower? Do you feel like this is going to be some type of a bull flag and we're going to get a nice blast out with volume up to our next level? So I want you guys to let me know down low, and we'll dig into this. So starting out with Bitcoin, as we've been paying attention to, guys, we're looking, we still have these lower highs coming in, right? We wicked up above it, so we actually got out of this trend line, but we did not close up above it. And you can see we have one touch here, 2, 3, 4, so this is definitely, even 5 right here, this is definitely a valid trend line that we're looking at. But the main thing that I've been paying attention to for the last week or so is whether this is going to be some type of a bull flag here, or if we're just going to keep dropping back down. We're going to start testing areas around that 7,429 is what I'm going to be looking at. Now, something that's key for us when we take out our Fibonacci and we go from our swing low up to our swing high, we're sitting directly with this 0.618, and that's an area that you typically want to get a bounce from. That's our golden Fibonacci region, and a lot of times you'll get a bounce from the 0.618 up to that 0.382 if we're to move to the upside. And what that would do would give us some type of a trend line break, and with that trend line break, we would want it to come on heavy volume so that we can really get up above that green trend line and start making a move. If that happens, we can really run hard very fast if we do get that type of a trend line break. You could be looking at anything up to 60% or more if we have a serious trend line break on a lot of volume too. So really watch that. But we're at that key area, that 0.618, and that's also correlating with our 50-day moving average that's coming down here. Now, what I don't like about what's taking place for us right now is the fact that we've lost this 200-day moving average again in white. And I know we've just been moving sideways, and moving averages aren't as important when you're moving sideways as they are when you're trending, when you're moving up or down. But this is significant, the fact that we couldn't hold that 200-day moving average, and we actually had 2 candle closes. So we had this day candle close below it, and then yesterday's candle closed below it. Now what we're going to try to do today is see if we can get back up above them, or if we're just going to start getting dropped back down even farther. But what that showed is we didn't have enough buying pressure to stay up above those moving averages. And whenever you see that, that's a sign of weakness. So I really want you to be careful and pay attention to this, guys. The one good thing we have going for us here, this area that we move sideways on, this is a lot of support here. This is a big cluster. So if we are to drop down a little bit more, I would expect to find some type of support here or at this bullish engulfing candle that came with a lot of volume, right? If we're to continue to move to the downside. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin right now, guys. The RSI is at 42. So being at 42, I really want to stay up above that 40 mark on the RSI. If you pay attention to the RSI, what you'll notice is that the RSI at number 40, a lot of times it'll act as support or it'll act as strong resistance. So we want that number 40 to act as strong support for us. We don't want to drop below it and have that start becoming a ceiling where we're hitting it and then we drop back down, hitting it and drop back down. So in my opinion, guys, today is just about being patient, waiting to see what Bitcoin does, if we're going to get that next leg out of here or if we're just going to keep dropping down. So downside targets, we're looking at 73, 76. Upside targets, we need to start getting back up above these moving averages here. That's going to be around 8,726. Really need to push back up above those, because right now we're trading below our 9 EMA, our 20 EMA, our 200 EMA, and our 50-day moving average. They have been lost right now, so we really need to get back up above them, and today would be the day. We don't want to keep having candle closes below them, guys. So if you like me covering Bitcoin, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll move over to XRP next. And XRP's kind of been in a tricky spot as well here. And this is something I wanted to show you because we were talking about this the other night when I covered XRP. So we were kind of looking at this basically diamond bottom, or the symmetrical triangle that we were dealing with here. You can see how we had our highs right here. So we have our upper trend line there. Then we have our higher lows here. And what happened was we actually started to break down through this short-term trend line that we had in green, and we have now had about 4 to 5 candle closes below that. And what also happened was we lost those moving averages. We lost our 9 EMA, our 20, our 50, and our 200-day. You can see up here how we tested that 200-day EMA. Then we saw a lot of rejection on a bearish engulfing candle, got pushed to the downside. So now what we're trying to do is find that support. Where are we going to find support? And this is the area that I'm going to look right around there, and you can see we wick down to it, and that's going to be at 25 cents there. So this is an area we would want to get some type of a move and try to get back up within this trend line, and also get back up above these moving averages, because now you can see the 20 EMAs crossing down through that 50 moving average, and that's not what you want. You don't want those downward crosses, because that acts like a raging river pressing down upon you, just keeps pressing down upon you. Okay, now if this area doesn't hold, guys, I'm going to be looking down to around 23 cents. This area right here where we had a bullish Harami pattern, and that's where we kicked off this short-term uptrend that we've been in now since September 25th, 2019. So that's what I'm saying. It's not a good thing whenever you start breaking down through trend lines and you also lose moving averages while you're breaking down through those trend lines. So that's why this is a time for XRP to just be cautious and wait to see where we can find support. And we're going to look for some type of bullish, candlestick pattern off support right here, or down around this 23 cents, we'll call it, right in that range. That's what you want to see, is a bullish candlestick pattern off those key areas for us. In terms of the RSI, we are at 37, so we've dropped down through that crucial 40 like we always talk about. And what we're going to look at on the RSI is to see where we may find some type of support here. So you can see the weakness, how we just dropped off really hard, really fast, and aggressively. So what I like to do is draw our support and resistance as well on here. So guys, at 25, I'd look to see if we could find any support on the RSI, and then I would look to basically right where we're at right now, around that 34, we'll call it 35, 34.84. Right there's going to be another spot as well that I'm going to be paying a lot of attention to. Guys, I apologize if you can hear my computer whining in the background. This morning I've been going through a lot of different charts and everything, so she's pretty revved up right now. But that's what I wanted to point out for XRP. We're at that sticky point right now. We're in an area where we should have a lot of support, but we're going to have to see if we can get that nice bullish candlestick pattern to come in and maybe reverse this and get back within this green trend line. Because what we can do is extend this. And a lot of times when you do get a trend line break to the downside or to the upside or whatnot, you will actually retest it, and then you'll either fall farther down to the downside or you'll get back up within it and start trading within it again. So guys, that's XRP. Just really look at these key areas, pay attention to these moving averages, see if we can get back up above them again. That's what I'm looking for at least. So just be a little more cautious right now because we lost some key areas there. And then let's go to Litecoin. If you like me covering XRP, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And then Litecoin, we're still within the area where we had our alerts at. We had our alerts to the upside at 65.28. And to the downside, we had it here at 55.26. And the main thing for Litecoin, what you want to see, guys, we've broken out through this downtrend. So this was our downtrend. We set a bullish engulfing candle. Let me zoom in for you here. And what was nice is we got a bullish engulfing candle with a trend line break on heavy volume. So now what we're trying to do is change that trend. We've had those lower highs and lower lows, and now what we try to do is push up, set a higher high than this area here. We came down, set a higher low with real tight candles, came back up, set slightly a higher high. Now we're going to see if we can set that higher low again and then eventually get that higher high. We need to back test this 200-day EMA. We have not touched the 200-day EMA since August 12, 2019. We've been so weak we haven't even back tested it. So it's important, just like we saw with XRP there, it was back tested, it saw some rejection, and then what you have to do is power up again and then try it again and see if you can get back up above it. But for Litecoin, we don't want to lose this 50-day moving average that we've been trading up above now since, we'll call it November 4th, 2019. You see how we pushed up here, and now we're at that area again, and this is where we need to find support. If we drop down through there, guys, I can promise you we're going to be going low. We would probably drop down to that 55.26. That's why I have an alert there, and then I would go down to where we had this bullish engulfing candle around 49.49. We'll call it 50, that psychological number there. But the more time that we spend underneath these moving averages, the more pressure we're going to have to push us to the downside. And that's where we're getting that squeeze. These shorter term moving averages now are pressing down on us while we're trying to find support off the 50-day moving average. So as we get squeezed between the two, eventually we're going to have to make some type of break, whether it be to the upside or the downside. And that's why I have my alerts and my alarms on right now. Because if we do break out of here, then that means most likely we could run up to around that 72.60, which would be good. But guys, the more I study, I just keep studying and studying on trends. And as you can see here, take a look. This area here, we had this inverse head and shoulders right there. And as soon as we got up above that 50-day moving average, for the most part, we were up above it this entire move. So we first got up above it at about $31, and we ended up losing it at $120. So if you're just playing even that 50-day moving average, when you close above it on good volume or when you close below it on good volume, you could have played from around $30, $35 all the way up to that 120. That would have been your profit. So that's why I'm trying to push these moving averages on you guys from the short term all the way to the long term. They're very significant. I was reading in my candlestick charting by Tina Logan last night, and it was saying that the moving averages are one of the most simple things, but they're one of the most powerful indicators that you can use and really study on, and all the different techniques of them, crossing to the upside, crossing to the downside, acting as support, acting as resistance, key areas that fall with the moving averages on key support or key resistance. All these things are going to play a factor for us, guys. And what I like to do is really pay attention to trends, dig into these trends, then throw the moving averages on, look at the bullish candlestick patterns or bearish candlestick patterns, support, resistance, trend lines, MACD, RSD, or RSI. That's the type of stuff that I like to look for here. So we're just really trying to change the trend for Litecoin. We need a big blast of volume here, guys. We need to retest this 200-day EMA. So that's what I want to bring you. If you like me covering these three, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I always want to be real with you. I don't want to tell you Litecoin's going to 1,000 or Ripple's going to 100 today. It's just not going to be the case, guys. We have to take this by higher highs, higher lows, change that trend, and get it moving. A lot of these trends will last for 4 to 6 months. You can even see right here where we ended up June 23rd, 2019. We didn't start even attempting to change the trend until October 25th, 2019. That's how significant these intermediate term trends can be. So, guys, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful Saturday. Let me know down below your thoughts on these three coins and what you see happening. Take care, my friends.